All right, good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. Thanks for stopping by for a check of the forecast. We have been very cool today. That cold front blew through Amarillo a little after about 4:30 this morning, and we actually had a little bit of rain behind it. It was such a sharp cold front, some strong winds behind it. We had enough lift to get a really narrow band of showers going. Again, that ended up only amounting to a few hundredths of an inch of precipitation. So not really anything beneficial, but it did technically rain across most of the area early this morning before the sun came up. Let's go ahead and jump on into the forecast. We've got a freeze warning that's going to be in effect tonight for most of the area. Will be our first freeze for the fall season for many. Could be even a hard freeze for some of us. So that hard freeze would likely kill off a lot of those insects like your gnats, flies, mosquitoes, things of that nature. A light freeze may not be as effective at doing that. That's probably where most of us will end up for tonight, but it could certainly be cold enough for long enough that things like those warm weather plants in the garden will suffer the consequences as we go through tonight. But there's a live look from Clovis. You can see we had plenty of clear skies out there. Some of those showers and thunderstorms, even a couple of severe ones down there in the southeast portion of Texas. We have just got a lot of that cool air filtering in from the north at this point here in the panhandles. It is 56 right now here in Amarillo. It's 57 in Dumas, 65 over in Childress, and 59 out in Clovis, where we took a look from that sky cam. It is at least breezy, especially out in New Mexico, but it is downright windy still here in the Texas Panhandle. 21 miles an hour sustained at the airport, 26 sustained in Dumas, sustained at 30 miles per hour in Guyman and Dalhart. So very strong winds still in place. We did actually just see the wind advisories expire across the area. Those winds will still be breezy tonight. We expect them to be elevated, but they're not going to be to the point where we need that advisory, I don't think, for the rest of the day. Again, that's for winds that are sustained around 35, which we're starting to see those winds dial back a little bit. So here's the big story. Again, freeze warning for tonight. It'll actually be from tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. until 10 o'clock Central Daylight Time. If you're over in New Mexico, it will run until 9 a.m. And then we have a freeze watch in the cyan or that light blue color. That's for Wednesday night. So for tonight, all of those counties shaded in that deep dark purple, that's where the freeze warning will be in effect. So that's where we expect those temperatures to fall to at least 32 degrees. Some cases, it's probably going to dip down to as low as 24, which is a hard killing freeze for all of those mosquitoes and insects and those warm weather plants. 31 is the forecast low here in Amarillo. The further west you go, generally the colder it's going to be. We've got you 28 in Tucumcari for tonight, 25 in Clayton, 30 in Clovis and Dimmitt. The southeast panhandle, again, you guys are not under the freeze warning for tonight, but temperatures will only dip to the mid 30s, so you will stay above freezing. And with the wind that we have, probably not expecting a frost. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll return to the 50s. It will be a very chilly day, even for late October standards. Normal high being about 69 degrees, and we make it only to 53 in the afternoon. 53 will feel like it's in the 40s. That north wind will still be in place. It won't be as strong tomorrow, but it's still going to be in that 10 to 15, maybe 10 to 20 range. So 53 will definitely have a wind chill factored in with it. Here's your lows for tomorrow night. This is for Thursday morning. We've got you down to 29 in Amarillo, 28 in Clarendon. So again, you may want to cover up those plants, those warm weather plants. If you want to try and extend the growing season for them a little bit, you can do that. We are probably going to just let the garden just kind of come to an end for tonight. Aside from our pumpkins, I'll be out there trying to cover them up before it gets dark tonight. But otherwise, 2 more nights of freezing temperatures. It's going to get very chilly most mornings, I think, for the next several days, though. So let's go ahead and run through the computer model. This is the temperatures that you see on the map. So a lot of upper 20s, low 30s tomorrow morning. That north wind, northwest wind should be sustained at 10 to 15. Usually when that wind's elevated around 15 miles per hour, that wind chill is about 10 degrees colder. So that's going to put a lot of us down into the teens for your wind chills on Wednesday morning. So make sure you dress in layers, especially if you plan on spending some extended time outside earlier in the day. That wind won't let up too much throughout the day. It is expected to let up Thursday early in the morning, and that's going to probably allow some of us to tumble down to around 28 to 24 degrees. We do slowly start to moderate back up into some more mild temperatures as we get towards the back end of the week, closer to Halloween. Halloween, the afternoon looks spectacular. It will certainly be cool for any of those evening festivities that you have planned. If you're going trick or treating with the kids, or a trunk or treat, or a fall festival, just make sure you've got the jacket with you again, especially when that sun starts to get low on the horizon. It is going to start cooling off pretty quick. So let's take a look at the wind chills real quick before we go ahead and jump over to your next weather maker. We're expecting us to be down into that 15 to 25 range for most of us for what it will feel like when you step outside tomorrow morning. So just make sure that you have the jacket. If you don't, you may regret it. Again, if you're especially spending more time than just a few minutes outside. As we get into Thursday morning, the wind chills won't be as bad. That's just because the winds won't be as strong. And then after that, it's really quiet weather for the next couple of weeks. You can see this upper level low diving into the southeast US. That's heading into this weekend and early next week. I don't really expect that one to cause any kind of impact for us. What we're watching, models have been very hit and miss and really have favored the northern track with this next system by the 5th to the 7th of November, which would keep us dry, but probably perhaps windy with that next trough starting to dig. It looks like the first 5 or 6 days of November should be relatively quiet, moving through the weekend and into the first half of next week. So maybe getting closer to next weekend, not this weekend, but the one following, will be that next window to kind of watch for maybe some unsettled weather in that pattern. Again, it's really going to come down to the track that this low takes. A lot of models are favoring a northerly track, which would keep us dry, but probably windier. There are a few outlier models every now and then that have this thing diving a bit further to the south, and it does have some moisture associated with it. And so it's something that just maybe watch at this point. Certainly no guarantees. We are well away, like 10, 12 days away from that system actually coming to fruition. So a lot can change between now and then. We're just kind of in that watching for that pattern at this point. Here's your 7-day tracker. Plenty of sunshine over the next 7 days. Don't forget, we also fall back an hour this weekend. So you either get to enjoy it, out on the town for an extra 60 minutes, or you get that extra hour of sleep, however you'd like to spend it. Just know that you are going to get an extra hour through the weekend. That is all we have for you this afternoon. Thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And again, it is going to get cold tonight, so just make sure you take those proper precautions if you've got